Almighty Radio.
Welcome, everyone. This is 5RoundMMA. My name is Alex Ramirez. Alongside is my co-host, Albert Cita. On the phone, we have from the East Coast in sunny Orlando, Clipper fan for life, Guillermo Cita. How's it going?
Good, man. I'm excited. The Clippers pulled through on Game 6. Now I get to enjoy a Sunday afternoon watching my Clippers hopefully win Game 7.
Nah, Jazz got it, homie.
Nah, the notes are over, dude. Jazz notes are over.
So you haven't adopted the Orlando Magic yet?
No, you know what? Maybe if I was here a little bit earlier when T-Mac was around, maybe I would have transferred over to the Magic. But no, the Magic are just horrible. So
real quick, even though the Milwaukee Bucks are already out, what a game, man! I was hoping they would come back on that game too.
Yeah.
Damn. And then real quick, I was on Instagram earlier today, and today in MMA history, I guess Lyoto Machida knocked out Randy Couture with the front.
What a beautiful fight that was.
Days.
Those honestly, those were the golden days of MMA when Machida ruled.
The Machida era. So real quick, let's go over this week's show. Not too much happened so far in terms of in the cage action. We're gonna talk a lot more about stuff that happened outside of the cage, social media, news, stuff like that. I want to ask you guys about Al Iaquinta's latest Twitter rage.
He's a dick.
Al Iaquinta, the UFC, will they might do away with the featherweight division for the women's featherweight division. Phil Davis versus Ryan Bader is now set for Bellator 180. Also talk about maybe how do outside organizations champions fare in the UFC, and also how DC is putting down his foot and laying down the law for Jon Jones and this whole deadline that he was given. So let's get started with round number one, shall we? Aubrey, you have a timer?
Hey, it's going.
So round number one. Here's a question for you guys: is Al Iaquinta pulling the Conor McGregor move here, or is he just a dick?
No, he's being a straight up dick, yo.
So I guess after last week he returned and he knocked out Diego Sanchez, and I saw on Twitter, the Raging Al's back. I told Guillermo I didn't even know he was gone. But apparently he's been gone for 2 years. I didn't even know that. So I guess he got Al Iaquinta felt he should have been part of the post-fight bonuses, and he wasn't. And he just put a tweet said "F you" and had the quote of the post-fight payouts. And ever since then, he's been on a big rage. So here's another one here. He said too, I don't know if it's even worth me coming back here for this, because I think he's the
he's a real estate agent.
Yeah,
something like that. Realtor, whatever.
What are you gonna do, right? So I guess he went back on the on Twitter rage April 25th. He said, just got off the phone with Reebok trying to act cool with me. Either you with me or you against me. And another one, you choose little BITCH Sage Northcutt over me. I'm the effing man. I'll take your guy out at Reebok. Take away my sponsorship money. And then also, I guess he got off the phone with him. After that, Reebok has some pretty nice gear.
Once they cut that fat check.
Reebok has pretty nice gear, though. I'll give it to him that. And then he actually went on to go to attack our boy, our first ever guest ever, Kevin Lee.
No, he didn't.
Yeah, he's Kevin Lee could never throw it right. Like me, what a effing dork. Dropped him with a jab. Ha ha ha, effing dork.
First of all, that match went to decision. It wasn't a stoppage. It was Kevin Lee's first bout in the UFC. Yeah. UFC jitters is a thing.
Yeah, then you have to Mitch Clark, because Mitch Clark is a little BITCH.
What did Mitch Clark come in?
Yeah, no. Bobby Green can actually throw a punch, but he's a mental.
Another friend to 5RoundMMA.
I know, Sissy Bag, all of them.
I just think Alaquenta hates 5RoundMMA.
All of them, I fight for free. I don't think he listens to it. So, guys, is he being like, is this the Conor McGregor move, Graham, or is he just being a dick? Albert's a dick. I say he's a dick. What do you think?
I think it's a combo of both, and that's kind of unfair because I got my boy Kevin Lee's back, and I think Kevin Lee will destroy Al Iaquinta in the rematch. Yeah. But Al Iaquinta, for what it's worth, he has been on a run, and it sucks because he has been overlooked. Sage Northcutt has really and I'll use him as my example because I'm not going to throw my boy Kevin Lee under the bus because Kevin Lee's on a streak of his own, and I think he deserves to be in the top 10 already. But Sage Northcutt, I mean, this guy's coming off losses, and yet he's still the poster boy. Iaquinta, I can't even recall the last time he lost. Yes, he was gone for a whole year, but he didn't leave on a losing streak or anything like that. So I don't know if he was hurt or what, but I mean, you would think he would demand or get a little bit of more respect, whether it's money or higher up on the cards. You get me? It doesn't matter if you're a jerk or not. It's like if you're proving it out in the cage, isn't that what we always ask for?
Oh yeah.
If he's doing that, why not start putting him up higher on the cards? And maybe that's what he's doing. Is maybe if I start being outspoken a little bit more, I'm gonna get more heat. And remember, we're in an age where heat is actually a good thing.
All I do is try to get heat, homie.
See, heat makes you a fan favorite. To be honest with you, when you're against the corporation and the evil empire, that's gonna buy you some cred,
or at least perceive it to be that way. Hey, Reebok, F you, and then all of a sudden, no, we're cool.
So I have a couple points to make real quick. Let me give you a background though on La Quinta for all those people that don't know the beef that happened. So what happened was he made some not good commentary on Reebok a couple years ago, and his punishment was he was not allowed to receive any bonuses. In the next fight, he drops out. They have some contract dispute, whatever. He's saying he ain't getting paid. Blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
Right. But two things. One, I do think he deserved a bonus for his knockout of Diego Sanchez. I do think that was kind of a shady move of the UFC not to give him that bonuses, even though La Quinta is a dick. He deserved that bonus.
Yeah.
But let's get one thing straight, Guillermo and La Quinta. Sage Northcutt looks amazing in the Reebok gear. Sage Northcutt looks amazing in the poster. He looks amazing in the TV ads. Have you seen his social media, Guillermo? Sage Northcutt is tearing up the social media game.
Yeah.
All I see on any MMA fighting website is Sage Northcutt either smashing an apple,
doing a scissor kick,
with his Reebok gear on, and that's what it takes to be a marketable athlete. And
La Quinta,
if anything, La Quinta needs to quit eating sour grapes and start smashing some sour apples like Sage Northcutt, and maybe he'll get some Reebok friendly money.
Don't say anything controversial, just smile and
exactly.
nod your head. Real quick, here's
you know what makes you a marketable person, Albert?
What?
Is wins, bro. That's why your boy Tony Romo got dumped. That's why your boy Robert Griffin III got dumped.
RG3 he's gonna make a comeback, bro.
Yeah, right. All the guys you've ever liked, Albert, the reason they get less sponsorships or less fame is because they're losers. Just like when you get your boy like
bro, you can't judge the spirit of a man.
You gotta get sponsorship. No, what's gonna happen when Sage Northcutt loses in his next fight?
He's then what? Win it.
Poster boy, nothing, bro. He's gonna get cut by the UFC, and that Reebok deal is done, bro.
For life. So before we end this round, I want to give a shout out to our boy Kevin, who actually responded to Al Iaquinta on Instagram with the photo of him punching Al Iaquinta in the face from the first fight. He put at Al Iaquinta, shut up and let the real men work, stupid, or keep effing things up for yourself. Nobody want to hear a grown ASS man complain. Finish your bum ASS contract, and then we can talk again. Nobody give a F if you retire. I need a home in New York area anyway, so you can be my real estate agent.
Man, that's gold.
I'll give you a good commission after I finish Michael Chiesa. I'll spend your year's salary in a month. Now tell me who really went in. #LoveUFC. #MTP.
Was that 150 characters? Because, man, that was good.
No, it's Instagram.
Oh, it's Instagram? Yeah. Even better.
So, our boy Kevin Lee not sitting.
And FY Mitch Clark was the last guy to beat La Quinta. That's why he had some beef.
Okay, so that's it for round.
How long ago was that, Albert?
That was in 2014.
Yeah, dude, that's like 3 years ago, almost 4.
I think
we're getting close to 2018.
For me, for Al Iaquinta, it's just like the whole. I'm leaning towards the dick side because the whole New York, New Jersey accent.
Yeah. I don't like anything Jersey. The only thing I like from Jersey is the Sopranos, bro. And that's it.
Hey, didn't your boy Sage Northcutt just lose to the guy that beat CM Punk?
Oh, Mickey Gall. Yeah.
Mickey Gall, but Jersey boy. Isn't he from like the Midwest?
It doesn't matter.
That haircut's from the Midwest. That's it for round number 1. We're going to come back, and we were talking about round number 2. Let me bring my
Hey, really quick before we leave, I might need a real estate agent, so maybe I can hit up Al Iaquinta.
There you go. We're going to come back for round number 2 and talk about...
You trying to get too much heat right now, Guillermo. You better watch out.
The UFC.
Hey,
Jersey isn't that far from Florida, homie.
I backed them up, bro.
Got to get that Sarah Jiu-Jitsu all up on you, bro. We're going to come back from round number 2 and talk about if there's the likelihood the UFC completely doing away with a brand new division. Before we do that, I want to give a shout out to one of our great sponsors at 5 Rounds Clothing. 5 Rounds Clothing offer a unique collection of apparel and accessories by incorporating the culture, style, and attitude of mixed martial arts. They are constantly evolving and improving to become the best fight wear company in the MMA world. Check out the line of t-shirts, hoodies, hats, and other great accessories at 5rounds.net. That's a number 5rounds.net.com. 5rounds.net. Sorry. Follow them on Twitter at 5roundswear and on Instagram at 5rounds_. Get it on. Round number 2 coming up. All right, welcome back. Time for round number 2, guys. Do you think the UFC will ever back on with something they did and completely abolish a new division, as in the women's featherweight division? Because as of right now, there is only 1.5 fighter under contract in the featherweight division. Jermaine Romney is the current champion.
A mess.
Who's been MIA since she defeated Holly Holm. Holly Holm is back at the bantamweight division. She's going to fight actually Beige Correa next, and Cyborg is threatening to leave the UFC. She's going to get a title shot pretty soon. And on this past Thursday, Holly Holm's official Facebook page quote this: rumor has it that Jermaine Romney wants to retire. I hope this isn't true. She's a true warrior. However, I want my belt. Looking forward to a rematch. End quote. So when it was asked about when Romney was asked about Cyborg, she said, well, I kind of want to fight Holly Holm and my hand's broken, so we'll see what's which. And then Cyborg gave up her featherweight Invicta Championship belt. Now the UFC hasn't really commented. Cyborg wants to fight, I think, in June in Anaheim for the title. And this has gotten so bad that Romney's manager came out and said that quote, she's got things going on at home and stuff going on at Police Academy. The UFC are aware of it, and we are working through it. That's all I can say at the moment. End quote. So, can the UFC even strip Romney of this title and just give it to Cyborg, or what's going on? What do you think they do here?
I think
force her to fight or what?
First off. This is exactly why I'm a big believer of striking when the iron's hot. When it's at its hottest, that's when you strike. Don't wait a couple of weeks, couple months, couple years to do it.
Yeah.
This division should have been created years ago when Cyborg was at her all-time peak. And this is what you get. You get this ridiculous fallout thing. And just so people know, too, UFC should do their research as well of who they give the title shots to. I think people have to prove themselves to be a longevity title holder to get a title shot. If you look at Jermaine, how do you say her last name? Whatever. Jermaine. If you look up Jermaine's record, she's very inactive throughout her MMA career. I think 2013 was the only year she ever fought twice in a year.
Wow.
And just to show you, but see how UFC does not do their research. They just want to put stuff together once an idea or a concept is thrown out there. But they should have done it back in the day when Cyborg was there, because Cyborg, when she was in all-time high, she was competing almost every single time in multiple years. But this shows you that there wasn't really much of a research done to make this division. It was almost like Dana White was just going to spite Cyborg because she couldn't fight for the belt.
Yeah, Gary, what do you think about this? Is the UFC,
first?
Go ahead.
First of all, Albert's a joke. I mean, the reason they didn't strike when the iron was hot is because what's her name, Cyborg, was potentially gonna get caught for PEDs. Come on, bro. That's why they held back so long, because they couldn't tell if this girl was clean to begin with.
But yeah, she had a couple of UFC fights.
But she was under the Invicta flag. Come on, bro. Second of all, they have Invicta. They have other avenues to get fighters. I mean, we just talked later on in the future rounds. We're going to talk about World Series of Fighting, how they just picked up 2 of their champions. If the UFC really wants to, they can get any of those Bellator guys back if they want to. Yeah. So let's keep it real. If they want to revamp the bantamweight division and the women's division, piece of cake. It's not going to be a problem. The problem is going to be that it's going to be people that we don't know of. The advantage that we had with
look at the flyweight division. It's barely hanging on by a thread.
That's my point. Well, that's my point is that you're going to have Cyborg as a champion, but they were trying to build around Chris Cyborg, because everybody knows the Cyborg. But imagine if Holly Holm would have won that belt. That would have been a huge super fight. We wouldn't even be having the discussion about this round.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, Holly Holm didn't fight or didn't win. Now you have Jessica. What's her name?
This is called GDR.
GDR. Now potentially retiring or whatever. It's not a big deal, dude. I mean, everybody knows that Cyborg, the division was created for Cyborg. So once she takes over, it's gonna be like any other division. You got Demetrius Johnson demolishing the flyweight division, and nobody says anything. No, you're not calling out, the UFC to go sign other people. It's just the matter of the fact is that division needs to get
they need
more
an
people.
all-Mexican flyweight Ultimate Fighter is what they need to do.
Well, see, there you go. That I'm 100% behind that.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
Tough line,
but same thing with the women's bantamweight. I mean, they could just raid Bellator, raid World Series of Fighting, raid Invicta, and then there you go. You got like 10, 20, 100. What is it? Featherweight.
45. Yeah. Well, as of right now, Invicta has on their official roster on the website 9 other featherweights.
They can't just raid.
Well, they can just absorb it.
Don't they own Invicta?
I don't know. Do they, or just has a deal with them?
I don't know if it's a partnership or what.
But relax, bro. Relax. There's a 145 division out there. Let's just say that.
Just not in the UFC. And it won't be embarrassing if they just this didn't work out the way we wanted to, so we're just gonna go ahead and completely erase this whole division. And because right now they'll have 2.5, if home back and forth. Or I don't even know if the bench will have fights at 135 or not. I don't see why bench will go up to 135 anyways, or 145. So
no, she's going back down.
So I mean, there you go. So there's one fighter who fights 145 pounds in the UFC, and she's gonna be a cop now. So. That's it. So that's it for round number 2. I mean, I hope they don't get rid of this division because there's fighters out there who want to fight and they're just being lazy and it's Cyborg or nothing. But we'll see. So that's it for round number 2. We're gonna come back and talk about Phil Davis versus Ryan Bader, would potentially be fight of the year? Question mark? No.
Are you serious?
That's a good one, bro.
Did you ask
that? That's a joke. It was a joke.
Oh, okay. That's a funny joke then.
So before we jump onto that, I want to talk about one of our brand new sponsors, Mobilitas Mobility Tools. The best mobility tools on the planet, durable, portable, myofascial release products designed with more grip to help you improve performance and recover faster. That way you get to the workout quicker, get the best workouts every day you're working out, and get to the best possible version of you possible. Visit yourjointshouldn'thurt.com for more information. They're also at Instagram at Mobilitas. They're also on Facebook, and visit youtube.com/yourjointshouldn'thurt for some great tutorials. Round number 3 coming up. All right, welcome back. Time for round number 3. So it was first announced that Ryan Bader will make his Bellator debut at 180 in Madison Square Garden against King Mo, but but King Mo was injured, so could not compete. Well, in time ready, I think, for the June. I think it's in June, right? Bellator 180?
I think so.
Yeah, we just lost camera, but go ahead.
Oh, okay. Anyways.
So now it was announced that he will actually he'll get a title shot against lightweight champion Phil Davis, 2 former Bellator standouts. I mean, UFC standouts. So, do you like this matchup better than the King Mo one, or?
I wouldn't say I like it better, but it maybe it's a better thing for Bellator, just because King Mo is a very entertaining fighter, and I do think he's the most entertaining 205 that they have. But I feel like you need to build up the King Mo Phil Davis fight more than kind of just putting it out there.
Yeah.
I think if anything, this raises the stakes even higher, or I think it gives it more value. It's gonna be June 24th, by the way. It gives it more value when King Mo goes for the belt again.
What about you, Gary? You like Bader versus Davis better, or Bader versus King Mo? Sorry.
Yeah, this is horrible. I can't believe Albert freaking said that. He actually wants to see this fight.
First of all, I never said that. I have never, ever said that.
You implied that, bro. You said whoever wins, it'd be good to see who faces King Mo or whatever. I want to see Ryan Bader versus King Mo. King Mo has been outside of the UFC. We saw Ryan Bader versus Phil Davis in the past, haven't we? In the UFC,
I think so. Yeah.
I can't even remember any Ryan Bader fight, to be honest with you. But here's my point: is this is a joke. I mean, if we wanted this, we would have had it a rematch in the UFC. There's a reason why we didn't have a rematch in the UFC. We don't want to see Ryan Bader versus Mr. Wonderful. Obviously, Mr.
Ryan
Wonderful
Bader actually
the best.
beat Phil Davis in that bout. It was a unanimous decision.
Yeah.
I mean, a split decision, if you can believe that.
The only reason we want to see this fight is Mr. Wonderful to destroy Ryan Bader in the Bellator octagon.
Yeah.
Because I think that Bader versus King Mo would have really set a number 1 contender for Phil Davis. But again, I mean, there's just something about Ryan Bader that I don't like. And if he would have shown something against King Mo, I would have been way more excited about this fight. I guess it's more about that. Yeah. I wanted to see from Ryan Bader if he's capable of my interest against Phil Davis. That's my thing. I'm a Ryan Bader hater. I'm gonna admit it. I'm a Ryan Bader hater.
You're a Bader hater.
And I want to see him in the octagon, see if he can compete against the best. You right away throw him into the best, to me, light heavyweight on the planet, because I think Mr. Wonderful, even before he left to Bellator, was the best. I think he got screwed out of the Rumble match. But that I'm just a Ryan Bader hater, and I wanted to see him prove it before he got this opportunity.
Yeah, on a quick note, actually, Ryan Bader was Phil Davis' last loss, and
he's pretty much gave them his walking papers.
Yeah, after that, he left for Bellator. This was 2015. So, it's kind of funny how we're talking about, like, we don't want to see Ryan Bader, but Ryan Bader said late last week that he'll actually be making 3 times 4 more money and sponsorships with Bellator than with Reebok. He said somewhere, I can't find the quote. He's like, quote, I'll be 3 to 4 times what I'm getting with Reebok for sure, Bader said. He said, I had a couple real good blue chip sponsors that have been stood by us through the whole Reebok deal, and they're still here, like American Ethanols and things like that sort. So, then we got some good new sponsors coming on board. We're full for this fight. So, I mean, if Ryan Bader's making that much money, this is every time somebody leaves the UFC, what's the first thing they always say?
Money,
I'm getting my money back. So, somebody said on Twitter that Ryan Bader was making about $15,000 per fight from just Reebok alone, the sponsorship. So. Okay. He's up to what, 3 times 4? It's over 30,000 in sponsorship alone. So
that's not even counting whatever he's gonna make for the fight.
Yeah. So that's if Ryan Bader's got that kind of money, what kind of like another exciting fights? What can they make? So I think that as time goes on, we're seeing that this Reebok deal isn't very favorable for the fighters at all.
Let's keep it real. Nobody likes the Reebok deal. I don't care how blue Dana White gets about that Reebok deal. No one likes it. But let's not kid ourselves either. If you want to be put in the same category as any other professional sport, you gotta look the part. And those sponsorships, it just looks disgusting. I mean, the only professional sport that has been able to do that is NASCAR, where I think it to some level it still looks professionally done. Their little jackets and stuff with thousands of sponsors. But I mean, from the get-go was, I guess MMA was like that too. But it just
Albert, what are you on today,
you need a clean look.
Yeah.
Bro, what are you on today? I don't know. I'm disagreeing with everything Albert says, because the Reebok deal obviously favors the experienced guys or been there, the veteran guys. It doesn't favor the younger guys.
Been there a while, bro.
Yeah, but it just proves to you that he hasn't been fighting in the octagon enough, because it's going to favor the guys that fought more. Because after a certain amount of fights, then you're going to get a bigger payday. So if these guys are healthy and in the octagon, yes, they're going to get paid. They're going to get rewarded. If they're behind the sidelines and injured and not making it to fights, they're not going to get paid. That's what it really comes down to.
Ryan Bader has been in 20 UFC fights.
And you think?
Yeah, and it's crazy how some, like Michael Bisping or some other guys, get freaking so much money because they have 30, 40 fights under their belt.
But then it's also kind of hypocritical too when you see those select UFC fighters who get that monster patch on their shoulder because it's approved.
That's
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But nobody else is allowed that. Only a certain amount because that's official. Where everybody else is forced just to get what Reebok gives them. When they said $15,000 per fight for Ryan Bader, I thought, like, he has a lot under his belt in the UFC. That seemed kind of low to me.
Yeah, I think they're fudging the numbers there. I think it makes
I don't know. We'll see. But
pull up the Reebok contract. That's what you guys need to do.
So Bader versus Phil Davis, Bellator 180. Now that card has now 3 title fights on it now. So maybe if you guys wanted to see that more now. So plus Sonnen versus Silva.
It's pay-per-view, so no.
You guys didn't see Chael Sonnen's 10 reasons why he's going to fight Anderson Silva?
We saw it already on the Ultimate Fighter, bro.
Yeah. So we're going to take a small break and come back and enter the championship rounds. I want to ask you guys how maybe outside organizations champions fare in the UFC, and also talk about DC giving Jon Jones the deadline to accept his fight or not. So that's it for rounds number 3. Championship rounds up next. But before we do that, I want to talk about Rockin Green. Rockin Green is an award-winning manufacturer of eco-friendly cleaning products designed to make cleaning easier and greener. Rockin Green products are all natural cleaners that were made with biodegradable plant-based ingredients. Visit rockingreen.com for more information and shop their great line of products. They're also on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Championship rounds coming up next. All right, welcome back. So, Albert, you weren't here when we talked about our World Series of Fighting conversation, how they're no longer anymore They are dissolving their current plan of just being a traditional.
They're going to call something else, right?
They're the Professional Fighters League, where it's almost like a tournament aspect a little bit. It's kind of weird. But so after that, they're kind of letting their champion, like David Branch, is signed with the UFC now. Marlon Moraes is their current bantamweight champion, is signed with the UFC. And strong rumor is that Justin Gaethje, their lightweight champion, will soon join the UFC. So usually when other than Strikeforce, other organization champions have like Will Brooks, former Bellator,
has not done good at all.
How do you think Marlon Moraes in the bantamweight division and Justin Gaethje in the lightweight division will do? Moraes is 18-4. He's going to actually sign on already to fight Rafael Assunção at UFC 212. So do you think this is a good measuring stick for him? Do you think out of the two, who do you think will get a title shot first, Gaethje or Moraes?
Well, I do think Gaethje is the best one out of the two. As far as potential,
or even the 3-2 David Branch too.
Yeah, I mean David Branch. But Gaethje, I really do think he has superstar quality in there. I wasn't a big fan of Morales to begin with, pretty much because he beat my boy Anke Torres. Since seeing other fights, Guillermo, I think Morales is a legit contender.
You saw Morales live, bro.
That's true.
Saw him at the Citizens Bank Arena.
The only other fighter that has done this big a success, other than DC, who came from Strikeforce and won their Grand Prix tournament, is Eddie Alvarez.
Yeah.
And I've always said that division, Bellator had the better division, and I think Eddie Alvarez proved that to a certain point.
Yeah.
But maybe when now that I think about Will Brooks. Maybe Will Brooks just had the right recipe for Michael Chandler, and not necessarily was a great fighter as we thought he was.
Yeah.
But with that said, I do think Gaethje is going to be a superstar, and I think Morales, that's a perfect place to put him. I think he can be an instant contender.
Yeah. I know Moraes was probably considered the best bantamweight not in the UFC. Guillermo, out of the two, I think David Branch, because I think he's fighting middleweight now, so he could kind of.
Well, middleweight's a freaking beast of a division.
Except for the champion.
To be honest with you, David Branch. Not to say that he doesn't have a chance. I want to see him and how he would compete in that division, but you're talking about sharks every single fight.
Yeah.
All the way up to the top.
Yeah, I think
even my boy Chris Weidman, even though he's on the decline, that would still be a good test for David Branch.
But I think I agree with Albert here and with Gaethje. I mean, he has 2 back-to-back battles with our former guest Luis Palomino. Remember?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That they're so entertaining that we're running back together. He's actually 17-0, I think. 28 years old. This guy, every time he throws down, it's a scrap. So.
Yeah.
Well, let's say one thing is anybody that's a former champion at any other organization has done fairly well. I mean, I'm not saying like that they become champions like Eddie Alvarez. Not everybody ends up that way, but they make some noise, and they start being ranked up in the topper echelon of the UFC. So let's give them credit. Just because they're not in the UFC, they are real legit good fighters. Now, to Albert's thing that, you know what, maybe he played Michael Chandler pretty well. I mean, Will Brooks. If you really think about it, the best fighters are the ones that can stick to the game plan. If they have a good game plan,
they can be successful. He hasn't been sticking to any game plan the last 2 bouts.
I mean, and that's my point. Is like maybe they whatever his training camp figured out, they figure it out for Michael Chandler.
Yeah.
Especially because all the noise was around Michael Chandler. Imagine if everybody, like nobody could beat GSP, which was at one point. Everybody's going to be like, okay, this is the formula for GSP, and everybody's going to try their best to follow through that formula, right?
Well,
I mean, Eddie Alvarez kind of gave that formula.
Yeah. But speaking of game plan, do you guys remember when Gaethje fought Nick Newell, who has the
one? Oh yeah. Oh, dude.
He kept saying it's easy.
You saw that live, Albert.
Again, I'm not saying I'm an expert because I don't. I only got my orange belt in karate, guys. So I am no expert in any way. But
hey, Albert, can I tell him the story of why you stopped karate?
First of all, you shut your mouth. We're not going to talk about that right now. Let me finish my point.
Okay.
All right. And first of all, I won that bout. It was a DQ. Anyways, back to what I was saying. I've always said it like he has one arm. Yeah. Why doesn't no one just give him a hook? Yeah. Like I never got it. I was like, just give him a hook.
Yeah.
He's gonna have to eat it.
That's what Gaethje did.
And Gaethje exactly did what I was screaming it out when I saw, like, in all respect to Nick Newell, what he was doing. But I'm like, dude, just right hook him.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
And Gaethje did just that, and it was literally a guy being a one-armed man.
Yes.
Well, Alex, to answer your question, who's gonna do better? Because I never really answered the question.
Yeah.
Is I think Morales will do better, just because I think the path for him to get to like the top echelon is a little bit easier than Justin Gaethje. Yeah. Justin Gaethje is gonna. The 150. Yeah, the lightweight division. I mean, we've always said that it's kind of like in a decline a little bit, but there's still like it's heavy with sharks. Like the top echelon. You're talking about Nate Diaz, Khabib, we always say it wrong. Yeah. Tony Ferguson, Conor McGregor, Eddie Alvarez. I mean, it's deep. And then now Anthony Pettis getting back to the
Michael Chiesa. Those guys are at the bottom of the division. Kevin Lee, Michael Chiesa, Alain.
Yeah,
Quinta,
so
Michael Johnson.
That's my point. It's just it's a more difficult path, to be honest with you. And nothing against Justin Gaethje, because I love his fighting style. He's just one of those guys that just goes for it. Yeah. And he'll bang with you. But I mean, like, it's just a tougher road. And not to say that the featherweight division is not tough, because I think it's just as tough. Yeah. It's just that the lower echelon guys, you can see it's more beatable for Morales.
Yeah. So we'll see. Only time will tell. I mean, a good testing point for Moraes with Rafael Sensao, who's on the cusp of a title shot before the triangle between Cruz, Dillashaw, and Cody Garbrandt got started, right, Albert? Yep. So if he beat a Sensao, there's no reason why he can't fight Dominic Cruz next or
and now that you mention that, is Cody Garbrandt, he's going to lose his belt to TJ Dillashaw.
Get out of here, bro. Get out of here.
I hate Uriah Faber so much now.
Have you been watching Ultimate Fighter?
Yeah, and it pisses me off how they try to bully TJ Dillashaw.
Oh, it goes across that way. It does go across that way.
You're letting that snake TJ Dillashaw.
It really does.
TJ Dillashaw.
Hey, let's keep it real.
Hey, they're called the Alpha Males for a reason, bro.
No, this is what it seems like. Is they trying to make TJ Dillashaw look like
Dillashaw's not an alpha, bro. He's not an alpha.
The problem is that
he's an omega.
It's 2 against 1, so they're gonna make him look bad.
Hey, that's what alpha males do, though.
Your boy? Where your other boys on the alpha male? Didn't everybody kind of like split after that?
No, they just became omegas, bro. You gotta stay in alpha to stay in the alpha males.
Oh, get out of here, bro. If anything, I want to see Uriah Faber come out of retirement just so he can get his ass whooped by TJ Dillashaw.
Yep. Well, too bad that Cody's gonna knock him out, so it don't matter.
So we got one more round of bad blood to get to. Talk about DC and Jon Jones. So round number 5th, the final round coming up. But before we do that, I want to talk about one of our great partners and something we believe in for a very long time. Redemption Martial Arts Foundation is a non-profit organization with the primary goal of bringing awareness to the bullying epidemic and providing people with accessible training and resources to help them combat bullying confrontations. I mean, this is the situation I see every day. People are getting bullied, and it's horrible online. In person, I mean, for wrestling fans.
Yeah, like the alpha males. Alpha males are bullies.
They're professional fighters. We're talking about bullying here.
Bullying here. Team RMMA consists of individuals from all walks of life who share a common passion for making a difference and serving as anti-bullying activists. If you're interested in being a member of Team RMMA or want more information, please visit RedemptionMartialArts.com. That's RedemptionMartialArts.com. They're also on all forms of social media. Everyone rises up against bullying. 5th and final round coming up.
You know who got bullied? Albert got bullied in karate.
Man, I didn't get bullied, bro. That was a DQ, and everyone saw it. I won the bout. That's the end of the round.
All right, welcome back. Time for the 5th and final round. But before we get started, I want to give a shout out to one of our great partners at FiveBookMMA.com, the only place you'll find real combat sports news from all over the world. A website you can trust with accurate news from MMA, kickboxing, boxing, all types of combat sports. They cover everything from local promotions to the major ones like UFC, Bellator, LFA, China FC, King of the Cage, Golden Boy Promotions, Pro Boxing Championship, all the great stuff. Lion Fight Promotions, all on one site. Let's have a great podcast section with a great combat sports podcast, all in one home for you to listen to. That's FiveBookMMA.com. Like them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Albert, 5th and final round, DC versus Jon Jones. Daniel Cormier's getting sick of this whole. It's when Jon Jones wants to fight. That's when we'll fight. He went on UFC tonight and said, quote, "I stand on take this fight with me, Jon Jones. There is no tune-up fights in the UFC. If you're a guy that has dominated the division as he has, why not come back and try to get your title? Come meet your boy DC. Come get this money. Let's get money together. Give the people in Anaheim a show. No tune-up for Jon Jones. He gets to come and gets to beat me by this time. We are fighting right now, or he doesn't get to fight me. It's my rules. I'm the champ now." End quote. So You like this new DC?
I've been loving this new DC ever since he beat Rumble Johnson to defend his title. I think DC did the perfect thing. He did what Jon Jones didn't have the balls to do, and that's become the heel.
Yeah.
See, DC understands the game now. He understands it. He's been watching plenty of Seth Rollins and Randy Orton. He has even admitted he's a big WWE fan and watches it, and he knows what sells and what doesn't sell. Hey, if the crowd's booing you, guess what? Give him some heat then. If the crowd's cheering you, guess what? Give him go over a little bit.
You know what? Yeah, be a good guy for the commentary booth, right?
Jon Jones is too scared to become the heel, and he's too scared to become the face.
He wants to be the victim and cry at the press conference.
Exactly. So DC's just doing what Jon Jones can't do. This guy.
I think Gabriel's that little.
You know what's funny is the guys you reference in WWE
Seth
are
Rollins?
actually getting cheered, bro. The guys that are getting booed is Roman Reigns.
Because they adapt, though. That's what I'm trying to say. They adapt to the situation.
Who's a good heel?
Get out of here. No, they're not heels, Alex. They're fake heels. Come on, bro. Let's keep it real. Jon Jones never lost the belt. DC's a little girl. Jon Jones should be calling the shots still because he's the best fighter on the planet, whether anybody wants to acknowledge it or not.
Yeah.
He is. Whatever happened outside of the cage happened outside of the cage. This guy, the only loss he's ever had,
but he loses his rights because of that.
He almost killed Matt Hamill, and that's why he only had that one loss fight.
It was almost attempted murder.
Yeah. But
other than that, this guy's never lost. So for him being stripped of the belt, technically he never lost the belt. And I've always said this: if he's not going to be consistent, AK or who I'm referring to is Dana White in the UFC, if you're going to strip Jon Jones of the belt for not being able to fight, strip everybody else that can't fight. Then I can say, you know, DC is the champ. But if he's going to be inconsistent, Jon Jones is still the champion, just like Conor McGregor is still the champion at featherweight, still the champion at lightweight. So let's keep it real.
So before we get to more ridiculous comments, let me throw some facts at you guys. In boxing, if you're a WBC, WOC, wherever they are,
WBO.
there are rules in play that if you do not defend the title to a certain period of time, then guess what? You are stripped of the title.
That's not in the UFC. That's not in the UFC.
Hold on, let me finish my point. That's what I'm trying to say. Again, Dana White always misses the mark when he wants to be a legit sport. He has to have some kind of rule in place that says, look, if you do not defend your belt within once in a calendar year since attaining the belt, you are stripped, and then that makes sense when we do those interim bouts instead of just doing it. Hey, you know what? This card's not good enough. Let's just make an interim bout into this card.
Like how they're doing, yeah.
Yeah.
So here, one more quote here from DC said, "Quote: the person we saw against OSP is a new USADA regulated Jon Jones. Oh. He's always going to look like that. Yes, I will beat him up on July 29th." End quote. So he's taking shots here left and right, Jon Jones. It is kind of weird though how the perceived bad guy has always been Jon Jones, but now DC's getting the heat from it just because
he understands it.
Is it like he got
because Jon Jones not behind the camera, not behind the microphone. That's
true.
the real truth.
He's keeping quiet.
So, once Jon Jones starts speaking, Albert's going to be the first hater to come out of the woodwork.
This is Albert's consistent on that.
I'm consistent on my hate, bro.
I've been hitting on Jon Jones. I just don't want this to be, if he does come back and get a title shot and somehow does beat DC, I don't want to be a redemption story because all these mistakes were on him. Stupid petty mistakes. Cocaine is if you make a certain amount of money,
it's a hell of a drug.
Yeah, it's also recreation money. It's also a recreation drug too. So he's out partying.
And you even see how he even tried to say almost like encouraging people is, I've always taken dick pills and I recommend people taking dick pills. And I'm like, okay, you're so cool, bro. You're so cool that you're taking dick pills.
That's a medical condition, by the way.
All I'm saying, I know it's a serious condition, but I'm just saying, don't try to act like you're cool or whatever because you're taking dick pills.
Male enhancement.
Whatever.
Stop saying dick pills.
That's the way he says it.
Stop saying dick pills.
That's the way Jon Jones said it, so that's how I'm going to quote it.
That's so inappropriate, Albert.
How much time we got left?
That's it.
That's it? Good call right there. So we'll see. Hopefully this gets uglier. So that's all I want it to be. Get uglier.
I want to give a shout out to Dos Leprechauns podcast. They covered Notre Dame pretty good. Yeah. And they talk about, everything Notre Dame, and Deshaun Kaiser just got drafted to the Cleveland Browns, and I just want to make sure that everybody it's not usually it's the death of a quarterback, and I just want to make sure that that they get the props. You know, I wish Deshaun Kaiser the best with the Cleveland Browns because he was a very good Notre Dame player.
Thank you.
I doubt that. The Browns are just cursed, bro. Yeah. They're just cursed.
Go Jazz.
I know. So that's why I want to give some positive vibes to Deshaun Kaiser.
Yep. Well, we'll see. Thank you everybody for listening. That's it for this week's show. If you want more 5-Round MMA, make sure to subscribe to us on Apple Podcasts, Podomatic, and YouTube. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at 5RoundMMA. It's FIVE Round MMA. Like us on Facebook, and please visit 5RoundMMA.com. Albert, what do you got?
Just thank everybody for listening.
Guillermo, Clippers by what? Down by
I think it comes down to the last shot, to be honest with you. Whether they win or lose, it comes down to that. Then they get swept by the Golden State Warriors.
It's an end of an era, Guillermo. Sorry.
Well, Blake Griffin's hurt. I want to see them trade Blake Griffin for Paul George. That would be awesome, but I doubt that it happens.
Paul George is wearing the purple and gold next season, homie.
Yeah, right.
He's going to ball with the ball.
The last thing is, please follow Cedar Wars at Instagram.
You troll! You troll!
I will detail the karate story of Albert's
Albert's failed karate career.
Oh yeah, the cream of the crop.
You are now listening to FRMMA Radio.